welcome to my review of Ninjago episode 97, I'm pretty sure. The Fool. That's why the episode title is called The Fool, which basically, if you watch the trailer, you know what this means and why. But we'll get to that a little bit later. First thing I'm going to say is this episode was definitely one of the best of this season. But at the same time, I don't want to say that because it's also one of the saddest and one of my worst. You get what I mean? I mean, not really one of my worst, but in a way, like that one scene I really didn't want to see and all that. So, it definitely was one of the best. Definitely a 9 out of 10 for me. The reason I'm saying 9 out of 10 is because the overall season and this minor stuff in all the episodes of this season and this season being so small and compact still, diminishes that rating just a little bit, but this definitely is one of the top. And yeah, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This review will contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen the episode, then make sure you go watch that now. Alright, so this episode basically starts off where the last episode ended with Lloyd Garmadon confronted by the Omega, who's the leader of this group of Oni. I say this group of Oni because, as some people have theorized, and there should be a lot more Oni, and you think he doesn't seem like a leader, like the high boss, the one who's in charge of every Oni within the entire group or whatever. So anyway, before I ramble, basically, they fight him, and he turns out to be a lot more of a challenge, even for Garmadon, who was, how should we say, very confident in his abilities to fight the Oni, even though his power is similar to his destruction like theirs at the moment. So it's like fighting fire with fire, as I said, not a good idea. This kind of makes it so. Also, he's not even as powerful as Omega. Omega is way more powerful and makes sense since he is an Oni warlord and Garmadon is only half Oni. Yes, he's only half Oni. I know the writers aren't saying that, but they aren't also not saying that. They're just not mentioning the half part or the full part. But he's half Oni. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, you can't just become full Oni just because half of you was resurrected. Technically, only half of him was resurrected. That half was only half, but he's still half Oni. Okay, simple as that. Anyway, so basically, Lloyd gets knocked in the next room where he finds a special weapon which was in possession. This room, by the way, is the relic room, or one of the relic rooms that Borg has. Borg has a bunch of relics the ninjas have used in the past, kind of like in a vault, a secure location. That's why the realm crystal's there. It's kind of so it's all the weapons and all the stuff ninjas have gathered throughout their adventures and keeps them safe. Well, as safe can be. So basically, the weapon is the Sword of Sanctuary from Possession, which is sort of can see in the future, which, as soon as people saw it, like, oh, well, the Oni are going to have going down. Granted, that didn't happen, but that's because, firstly, the Oni are quite powerful, and two, Lloyd doesn't know how to use the sword to its full potential. Okay? Yes, the sword shows in its reflection your opponent's next move, but they can do a little bit more than that. That's just its basics of abilities, but you can do a lot more damage with that sword if someone knew how to use it properly. But anyway, basically, why Garmadon is distracting Omega, Lloyd destroys the realm crystal, shattering it, which means no more realm crystal. But after shattering the realm crystal, nothing happens. And Omega basically reveals that the realm crystal was just the key and that the door's been opened. Okay, and hasn't been shut. So since it's been opened, the realm crystal's no longer needed for them to come into Ninjago. Or even all the realms. Now, because there are people who think because the realm crystal's destroyed, they're going to be trapped in Ninjago and not going to be able to, go anywhere. But he said that realm crystal was the key, which it is, and that they opened the door. They didn't close the door, so that could mean they left the door open for all the realms so they can travel to all the realms. That's just, me saying that. So basically, after that, Garmadon and Lloyd have their little moments, which, in this season, I actually have enjoyed the whole Lloyd and Garmadon. I think it feels very season 2-ish. If you remember season 2 when Garmadon still had feelings, this Garmadon is getting his feelings back because I can feel that season 2 vibe. I don't know who else can, but I can. But Omega summons a bunch of more Oni than the last time when we only saw 3. So, there's like lots of them, and they basically chase Garmadon and Lloyd through the underground of Borg Towers, where they end up getting cornered. Here, the Oni end up afraid to go near them. They wonder why. They turn around and they see the golden armor from the Golden Master, which is also the Overlord. So basically, this is the golden weapons, as you remember. It's actually 2 lots of golden weapons. It's the pilot golden weapons and season 2 golden weapons because of time travel and complicated stuff I'm not gonna get into. But basically, because the golden weapons are creation and the only destruction, they are afraid of it. So they basically use that. Omega is afraid of it, but a little bit less than the others. That's because he's a warlord. He's a high-ranking Oni member. So he would be a little bit more resistant to the, being scared of it. So they end up, I think they get out of the building in the scene, or I don't know if that's a later scene, but they get out of the building, they communicate with Pixel, or the bounty, which ends up only being Pixel, because Pixel's there, not the others, and, she ends up going down to the clan. Here, basically, I don't know if anyone was worried. I wasn't. Lloyd was, about her turning the stone, but as she said, she's a ninja, so the cloud shouldn't affect her, or won't affect her, which it didn't. Next up, we arrive at Ninjago TV. They basically arrive to rescue them, and Gal Gossip is less than happy because she's like Lois Lane of Ninjago universe, I would say, because she's always looking for a story. She's always putting herself in danger to get the story, and yeah, that's Lois Lane to a T. And she's also stubborn, so she seems like Lois Lane. But basically, they rescue the people, and here, this is the moment where the sadness happens, and I didn't like this part, but it was sad. The whole episode in general was nice, but this part, just, a lot of people cry. I mean, granted, kind of know the fate, so it's a little bit less sad because of some season 11 leaks that happened, which the season hasn't even ended. The season 11 leaks happened after the second episode, I think even before that. And it's like, really? We haven't even finished season 10 and you're already leaking season 11. Okay? It's just ridiculous. So as I was going, this episode, as I said, this part was sad. And that's because this is the scene where Cole falls. And we see why now. So, basically, Nia was preparing to leave and she was pulling the lever. Now, because the bounty was being rebuilt, and the controls are wonky, she puts the controls in the right way, but because the controls are being set up wrong, it's the wrong way, which causes the engine to end up facing Cole and blowing him off the ladder. Now, he does grab onto the ladder, which half breaks. He does stay on there for a while, and I'm sure if Nia knew that Cole was struggling to hold on, she wouldn't have been moved the bounty. She would have kept the bounty how it was, and he wouldn't have fell. Or at least he wouldn't have fell into the black cloud. But she didn't. And, it's kind of one of those moments where it's just anything could have happened. So anyway, he ends up after, holding on for a while. The ladder eventually breaks. He falls into the cloud. Sad music plays, which is basically just, make people cry because, well, that's kind of how in any show or movie, when you want a sad moment, the creators always put sad music. and the sadder the music, the sadder people get. So basically after that, as they were leaving, Kai takes control of the wheel and tries to turn back to sing because, he didn't want to leave Cole behind. Zane stops him, basically, telling him it would be pointless. After that, we ride back with Lloyd and Garmadon, who have escaped Borg Towers, and arrive at the bridge, at a bridge, where they end up surrounded by Oni. And, the Oni close in. Pixel then arrives just in time to save them. And, I'm like, what would happen if she picked up an Oni instead of one of the others? I mean, they were so close together, she could have mistaken Garmadon for an Oni. But I guess he's on the Golden Armor, so maybe she was aiming for that. And she wasn't caring about saving Garmadon. So anyway, they end up, low on petrol. They end up getting out of the cloud. As they get low on petrol, it's a race to get back to the bounty, and the bounty to get to them. But they do, obviously, it's a very close one. Actually, she does run out of petrol. Pixel does run out of petrol, and then they crash land on the bounty. It actually was like a lucky shot. Although, to be honest, Nia kind of put the bounty in hyperdrive. Or, really fast, because she wasn't going to lose anyone else after what happened with Cole. And her determined face. When she, Nia, when she's determined, she's the kind of person you don't want to cross. So anyway, they get up and, Lloyd wonders where Cole is, and, that whole situation, they don't really say anything, but, he can obviously tell by the looks they're giving. And, Nia blames herself, although, to be honest, it just was one of those situations. Garmadon, Symphony is not, since his good side's not fully developed yet, or fully returned yet, he's still not feeling, sadness for it, so he's focused on stopping the Oni with the golden armor now that he knows that will work. Lloyd basically stomps off in the house, and then the ninjas after him, and Garmadon's left there to reevaluate, everything. After that, basically, we return to the sleeping quarters where Garmadon's looking at the pictures again to try to feel for something. He wants to feel something. He's trying to feel something. Well, or trying not to feel something, or one or the other. Because, his good is in there. His good side is inside him. It's not developing. He's trying to fight it at the same time. It's like so at this point, why he's doing his whole thing, he looks at his picture as well of himself. We have a new character, actually not a new character, who comes in and basically, fanboys because he's a fan of Garmadon, but he's also a fan of the ninjas, so, unlike Yumi, who was just a fan of Garmadon and hated the ninjas and all that, this guy is a fan of both, so, he also reveals his name as Vinny. Garmadon asks him, what's more important, survival or, the other thing, and, Vinny says the thing that most people would say, and Garmadon starts reevaluating, everything. And as he ends up, looking back at the picture of himself with his son, his good self, Sensei Garmadon. So finally, or the second last finally, we arrive with Nia, who's, and, she's basically, thinking about what happened because she's blaming herself. Because even though it's not her fault, because she pulled the lever, even though, not her fault, the lever was all messed up, anyone in that situation always blames themselves. It's just what they do. It's just what you do. So anyway, Kai arrives, does his whole big brother thing, tries to cheer her up and all that. And here, she basically comes up with a plan to melt down the golden weapons and turn them back into golden weapons. Now, I don't know whether they're probably gonna do just the 4 golden weapons, but if they do that, that means each golden weapon will be double strength, because there are 2 lots of golden weapons in there. There's a mega weapon made up of 4 weapons, And then there's the 4 weapons from the pilot. They were all sent to space. Yes, time travel was confusing, but time travel was confusing. That's my point. So, double strength. Also, at the same time, melting down the golden weapons wouldn't actually separate their, like, elemental powers, or their powers. So, you know, they'll kind of be all meshed into 4 weapons, and it's complicated. I mean, they're not going to do this, but this is how technically it would go. So, also, you know, she mentions that, you know, Kai is the only one who can melt down the armor to turn into weapons, and that, you know, he's the blacksmith, only blacksmith that, you know, could do it. Granted, you know, he wasn't a very good blacksmith at the moment, but a lot has changed since the pilot. But it's funny there was a scene, and, you know, yeah. So at this point, we can basically predict that all those tweets, I was right, each tweet comes from a different ninja. Like, the ninja with full tweet that Tommy made is Cole falling. The ninja that will make a fatal mistake was Nia. And the ninja that will hold the fate of Ninjago in his hands is Kai. Last of all, this scene is very short, but it's only just to kind of show that he's alive in a way, but we're going to say. Basically, it zooms into Ninjago TV that is now consumed by the black cloud, like the top is covered in it. It zooms into, you know, where Cole landed, where we see that he's not turned to stone. The black tentacles start, you know, creeping around him, and here's where he would get turned to stone. And then it basically fades to black and the end of the episode. Now, here's some ideas on why he wasn't turned to stone yet. First of all, someone said, which is a highly unlikely reason, but it's still better than some of the ridiculous things that people are saying. Basically, he was a ghost once, or a kind of ghost from, like, thing, and he wasn't a ghost like Moro and the other ghosts. He was a ghost made by Yang's dark magic. And because he couldn't fly, remember, he couldn't fly. He wasn't that type of ghost. So it was like kind of, you know, not like a real ghost, but he was a ghost. He was a ghost. It's complicated, but anyway. And then after that, if you remember, Dad Departed, which is still canon, people. That's why it should be on the wall. The trilogy, yes, I don't care if that's on the wall now, but it shouldn't replace that. It shouldn't replace anything because everything's canon. So it should be on there. It's anyway. But anyway, I'm not going to ramble because I will ramble. So basically, you know, then when we went here and he got the green scar. That green scar was there forever until season 8, and then when the designs changed, that changed. But as someone pointed out during season 8, in the second last episode, when he used his special lava fist or mega fist to break down the door that they were trapped in by Lloyd, he saw a yellow scar exactly where his green scar was. Now, why is that yellow still confusing, but it proves that he still has his scar. It's just yellow, so it's more blended in. Because it was like bright, you saw a bright yellow where the scar was when he used his fist. So that's one reason that, you know, because there's a different effect of things. Since ninjas can't be affected, maybe a half ghost or a former ghost can't be affected by stone. Granted, that theory is highly unlikely and possibly won't happen, but it's still better than some of the other stuff. Another theory is he wasn't turned to stone straight away because, well, he did fall and he did land hard from a few stories up, so, you know, that would indicate he would be unconscious. Maybe because he's unconscious, he wasn't turned to stone straight away and the tentacles had to turn him to stone. He is unconscious, as you can see here, or dead. But knowing season 11 leaks, as I said, because they've been leaked, he's probably not. And I don't think he is. But he definitely looks unconscious. Now, there are actually some people who, on the Ninjago Discord, if you know where that is, who basically, you know, made some dark jokes about him falling in real life. Now, this is a Lego and a kid show, so that isn't reason, but yes, that's true. But the reason he wouldn't be dead from a fall was also because, remember, he is the master of Earth. And if you go back and you watch all the other stuff, you will know that Cole has a sort of super strength. His strength is a lot stronger than a normal person. So, he surviving a fall like that is more likely than anyone else. So there, that's basically what happened. And yeah. So anyway, that's basically my view of Ninjago. It's definitely an awesome episode, and I really want to see the next episode, which comes out on Friday afternoon, Saturday morning, depending on where you are. And it is the final episode, which means these episodes, as I said, the reason I've put this on in a 9, not a 10, because the episodes are very short and compact with so much stuff. Like the season, they only deserved a bigger season than this. But anyway, other than that, this episode was definitely one of the best out of season 10, and really awesome. And I really hope Cole wakes up and is alive and survives. I'm pretty sure he is, but don't get your hopes up, but don't also not get your hopes up. It's complicated. Anyway, before I keep rambling, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and check back, this Monday or Sunday for the season final review of season 10. The reason I said Monday is because I do take a little bit longer, because I try and keep these videos shorter than I record them, because I ramble. But anyway, before I keep rambling, see ya!